Have you ever had a little idea, just a tiny spark, and wondered if it could become something bigger? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to follow that journey, from a simple light bulb moment all the way to how it can change an entire country.
So let's get right to it. What does it really take to build something completely from scratch? You know, it's so much more than just having a cool idea. It's a mindset, it's a process, and honestly, it's a pretty wild ride. Let's start right at the beginning.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with the person, the individual. What is that fire inside someone that makes them jump off a cliff and build their own wings on the way down, while the rest of us just watch? That's the spark we're talking about. Okay, first, let's just make sure we're on the same page. When we say entrepreneurship, it's not some one-off magic trick. It's a whole process, right? It's about designing something, actually getting it off the ground, and then, keeping it going. It's about turning a thought into a real thing that actually does something in the world. But what really pushes someone to go through all that? Well, it's usually a mix of powerful motivations. For some people, it's simple. They want financial freedom. They want to be their own boss. For others, it's like a game, the challenge of making a profit. And then there are those who are just obsessed with solving a problem they see, a gap in the market, or a social need that just isn't being met.
Now, this is a really important distinction. Think of it like this. A manager is an amazing captain for a ship that's already built. They know how to run it, keep it on course, and manage the crew. The entrepreneur, though, they're the one who sees an empty ocean and says, you know what, we need to build a whole new kind of ship to explore that. You need both for success, the builder and the captain.
Okay, so you've got that spark, that mindset. But where do the actual ideas come from? I mean, they don't just fall out of the sky, right? Let's look at where these golden opportunities are actually hiding.
The truth is, opportunities are all around us. You just have to know how to look. Sometimes it's as simple as watching how people's needs are changing, or finding that gap in the market where you just think, why hasn't anyone made this yet? Technology, of course, is a huge one. It's always opening new doors. And sometimes you find them through deep research or by just looking at what's happening in other parts of the world.
And this right here really nails it. Spotting that opportunity, that's just the seed. It's tiny, but it has all the potential. The real work, the hard work, is taking that seed and figuring out how to grow it into a strong, healthy tree, a real business concept.
So that brings us to the blueprint phase. This is where the daydreaming stops and the building begins. It's where you take that fuzzy idea and start giving it a skeleton, a structure, to see if it can actually stand on its own 2 feet.
I absolutely love this quote because it is just so true. Anybody can have an idea. But without a plan, a real thought-out plan, it's just a wish. It's just a daydream. The planning, the goal setting, the tough decisions, that's what turns a wish into a reality.
And this is the ultimate reality check, the feasibility study. It's where you have to be brutally honest with yourself and ask the hard questions. Do people actually want this? Can we make money doing it? Is it even possible to build? Who are we up against? Answering these questions separates the successful businesses from the expensive hobbies.
All right, let's zoom out for a second. We've been focused on the one person, the one idea. But a successful business is never just about one person's win. It sends out ripples that can lift up an entire country.
I mean, just look at the economic impact. It's huge. New businesses mean new jobs, plain and simple. They bring new ideas and new technologies to the table, which forces everyone else to get better. All of that activity, all that energy, it's what fuels the engine of the whole economy.
And it's not just about the money either. Think about it. Businesses are part of our communities. They solve problems, they bring people together, and they provide us with the stuff we need and want. They can be a massive force for positive change, improving our lives in ways we don't even think about.
So if entrepreneurship is so incredibly important, how does a country get more of it? This brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. How do you build an entire culture that actually encourages and supports this kind of innovation?
What you really want is to create this awesome self-sustaining cycle. See, when one person succeeds, it doesn't just make them rich, it inspires 100 other people who are watching. And if some of them succeed, they inspire 1,000 more. It's a chain reaction. Success really does breed more success.
And a country can absolutely play a huge role in this. Things like government funding for research can plant the seeds for the next big breakthrough. Small grants can be the water that helps a new business start to grow. Teaching this stuff in schools prepares the next generation. And creating local startup hubs gives these new ideas a supportive environment to actually flourish.
So there you have it. We've walked through the whole blueprint, from that tiny personal spark to a concrete plan to the massive impact it can have on a nation. The path is there. We've laid it all out. So the only real question left is for you. Now that you've seen the blueprint, what future will you build?